I would also like to thank the contractor, MicroStar, for his wonderful job and highly committed contractor. But this company is not only representing commercial entity. He's one person that has been here for a long time and a long friend. And he believed if there's anything he wants to contribute in this country is this project. We've only paid him not even 20% of the money. Not even 20%. But today we are commissioning the road. 64 reported this morning, I've already reported 2.5 million paid. My friend, if you got your 2.5 million, give me some. Huh? And also my engineers. Dr. Nguyen, who actually never told you guys, he fell here. He was almost dying a month ago. He fell, hurt himself. We had to evacuate him to Nairobi. And thank God he's sitting here today. And you know, that's why we pray, man. You know. If he had gone to Shuluk land for a witch doctor, he wouldn't be alive by now. And also Jerfas, electrical engineer. I borrowed him from Dar Petroleum as a PMC, project management consultancy in Dar Petroleum. We borrowed him for this project. He's an electrical engineer by profession and a very hardworking young man. We have Emmanuel, who is my technical secretary. Sometimes he calls himself technical advisor, which I still need to upgrade that. And so many other supporting employees here, engineers and supporting staff from HSC, like the lady that gave us a briefing here. All these are Junubin. All these are young, hard-working people. And they only have one fundamental belief, that if you work hard at some point, and in some place you'll be recognized. We're here recognizing them and appreciating them for the hard work they put here. They are supervising the building as well as the road. And I can tell you, none of them has been paid by a contractor even a commission or bribed. One thing I want to really emphasize on is the culture that we are embracing as graduates. People call themselves engineers. And people don't remember my first speech when I took over NilePet. And I want to repeat it again for South Sudanese in general. Not only some of you were here. Being called an engineer, being called a doctor, a mister, a honorable, whatever the name is, does not produce results. It cannot and it will not. It's a prestige so that you feel good and you act good and you behave good, but you produce zero results. I have many of them here. The doctors, the engineers, all the fancy titles. This building has been going on for the last 7 years. Now we're going to finish it without fancy titles. Then later on we'll give ourselves titles on the inauguration day. Once we inaugurate the building, then you can give yourself a title. That I was the site engineer who supervised the construction of this building. And you'll call yourself the MD who helped to make sure I enable the environment for the building to be completed. I know people are not sleeping these days. Because Junubin, they don't know how to build, but they like to inherit what is built. People are saying the building is finishing, the road is being commissioned, and they all panic. Because at some point everyone says, yeah, it gotta be me, you know. I should be the one to be given the chance to commission the building. So that my legacy, opening a building is not a legacy. Constructing a building is never a legacy. What is a legacy if I can turn the negative revenues of NilePet from minus debt to profits? That's a legacy. So for some of you who are worried that I'm not sleeping because I have to commission this is nothing to be worried about. If I can transform the capacity of nationals to become more independent and capable of operating in the upstream operation and be able to prosper in my subsidiaries, that's a legacy. If I'm able to fight corruption at 100% from NilePet, that's a legacy. If I can convert idiots to productive workforce, that's a legacy. It's hard to convert an idiot to a citizen. But maybe you can convert an idiot to a tribesman. Because there are mathematical correlations between idiocracy and tribalism. And the common factor is division. For those of you who constantly question my credentials, we're not here to show ourselves what do you have and where you've gone to school. We're here to show what can we produce to South Sudanese. What impact can I make while I'm here? What impact will you make for being here? It's not the title. I can promote the whole 10 to be DGs. All of you. I can promote all of you to be Director Generals. Then so what? What next? You just go to your community and say, I'm a Director General in NilePet. Thank you, Kormidit. And in our Dinka, Ben, okay? Because everybody at some point wants to be a Ben, okay? But Ben with empty head. In Juba town, you can't distinguish who has a brain and who doesn't have a brain because everybody has got a suit and a tie. And a bundle to access internet. And what the empty brain writes is nothing except an article full of grammatical errors from the start to the end. And that gentleman is in a suit. But then I have my engineer here who doesn't have a suit, working so hard in the sun, falling off the stairs. But somebody who has a suit to be a Ben is writing bad about him or her, because that's a new culture of income generating activity. The question I always ask myself, what happened? Because at some point I grew up with two cultures, both the Sudanese cultures and the Western culture. But I've never come across in my entire life. And I don't think anyone else would want to come across that in their entire life. That a company that is meant for business, that when you work, you get paid. So you get paid by what you produce. But you get paid for doing nothing, but you still complain. And we call it the private sector. The private sector. And somebody who was here for 2 terms, this is a shocking part, 2 terms, MD twice, still believe that there's something wrong with NilePet. Because our community is being fooled by propaganda. I mentioned in one of the weddings, I said South Sudanese men are more gossip than women because they have V8 actually to expedite the gossip. They drive to General Sons's house, they gossip for 10 minutes, they drive to this hotel, another 15 minutes, they drive there the whole night. They're burning fuel for gossip. And the money is from NilePet. So I said, no, I'm going to sign a new contract. A contract that simply states 2 words. If you come to work, even though you do nothing, I pay you. If you don't come to work and you continue gossiping, I suspend you with that salary. Someone was saying, gal bena dega mule nasun suria, yani dega belia. Ya salu gal bena demin galu denka zatu. Denka versus denka, what's the problem? Okay? It's not Gabelia. You're useless. That's why I'm targeting you. You don't perform, why should I pay you bonus? And I think Madam Ambassador said I should deliver a good speech. This is a good speech now. It is a very good speech. From tomorrow, you start receiving your salary for December. Okay? Then 4 days later, I'll pay you Christmas bonus. Okay? Now, look at that. Somebody who is working so hard to make sure that your welfare is taken good care of. Versus, yesterday the Minister of Finance, I saw a memo. They're very proud to have paid the salary for August. Look at that mathematics. That's an achievement. We paid the salary for August. And potentially we are going to try to look for the foreign mission. We give them another salary for another month that we don't know what it is. But challenges in the country. We as NilePet employees should really appreciate that we've never defaulted or faulted in our salaries for the last 12 months. That alone is an achievement. And that alone is a bonus for all of us. So what do we need to do now to give it back to the country? It's for us to perform well. So that the president can be very proud the day he commissions this building. He can say for a fact that I have a company that can represent the interests of South Sudanese. The interests of the people, not our own interests. So when we walk away from here, it's not, because now I have 64 reporters even in my office. That's how influential 64 is. Right the opposite of the truth. Okay? So today I'm commissioning the road. Later on, oh, the MD has just opened the building. Okay? And then they have a train of Junubin that also follow them. You know what amazes me? The most people that I really respect, and I think they are leaders of this country at some point, leading key institutions. Some of them even advise the big men. Read these things and they believe them. When they are just a phone call away, let me call the MD to validate whether this story is true or false. Why? Because that is their satisfaction. You have an army of gossipers in Juba Grand. Then you have another entourage in Coffee Connect. Then you put another one in Imperial Hotel. They collect for you gossip at the end of the day and you pay them. We can never move forward. No nation on this earth or decision on this planet that are based on social media gathering. Because we are in a society that is so dysfunctional in terms of unity. We use tribe as a means of getting my interest. I use tribe as a means of getting promotion. And I use lies in a matter of making income. I want all NilePet employees, please, to be able to use your intellects. Use your intellect. The so-called engineers, the doctors, the honorables, use your intellect. You cannot be called an engineer and a honorable when you don't use your intellect. You use your eyes. Because when you use your eyes, the eyes can see all kinds of colors. It depends on the mood at that moment. Like right now, I'm standing in the sun, it's too hot. If I'm going to buy the first thing that I look at my phone, I'll end up replying the wrong message. 2024 should be a year where all of us will move in saying sorry to one another. I'll say sorry to you, Mr. Kamal, if I ever offended you, and the same thing to Dr. Santino. They're still questioning your PhD, my brother. You know, I think you just take them to your supervisor, who is monitoring your thesis, and do a press conference. I want all of us to work as one tribe, which is NilePet as a tribe. And if you doubt anything, come to my office. And if you can't get in, just write a small note. Because change cannot be done by the MD alone. This road would not have finished if I was the one building it or supervising it. It is through the hard work of engineers, project team, and the rest who have been constantly monitoring the progress of the building. The credit comes to the MD as a bonus, but the real credit goes to those who are really behind it. And I want all of us not to give up. We know some of you have been in one position for so many years. We are gradually working on a system. To fix a system that is broken for 12 years is it's not easy to fix it in 12 months. NilePet system, not only the word broken was overused, it was completely dead. And these guys who are spoiling our country, they're only 200. I told Honorable Minister the other day. Nasal ke karab junub dem on miten bas. Miten. And out of this miten, 20 fi NilePet. 20 fi NilePet. And if they continue messing around with me, I'll publish their names. Shan junubini arhum. We cannot allow you to destroy the country while we are watching. And when we tell you this is wrong, this is not how things should be done. We should do things this way for the next generation. Because they're even eating to an extent they forgot that they have kids that need to inherit this country at some point. They forget. So please, don't be among the 20 that I will shortlist. And if you're a member of that group, of the 20, you better send me your resignation before I publish the name. Because it's getting to that point. And now we're moving there.